everyone, and welcome to Tiger on the Block, the only podcast that takes collegiate a cappella members and makes them really uncomfortable for 30 minutes. I'm Tony like the tiger, Voss like the water.
And I'm Jessica Block. Jessica like the name and Block like the party.
Wow, any party with you must be a block party.
Yeah, and any party with you is a fancy water party.
Wow. Way to give me the least lame party theme.
Hey, I don't make the rules, Tony Voss Water.
Keep going with these puns and you're gonna end up on the Jessica chopping block.
My middle name isn't Chopping.
Well, what is it then?
It's, Cinder.
Cinder? That's actually a super cool middle name. I'm kind of jealous of it.
Yup, Jessica Cinder Block.
Alright, who do we have in the studio today?
We have That's the Key A Cappella from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
That is what you are.
Since their founding in 2009, That's the Key A Cappella has been unlocking the doors to audiences' hearts by singing songs we all know and love.
They can be found performing on campus at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo and in the surrounding area, and this year they competed in the ICCAs for the first time at the West quarterfinals in Claremont, California.
We got two members in the studio today. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, who you are and where you're from.
Hello, my name is Kylie Capella. I am from Nevada City, California, kind of near Tahoe. It's a very small town. Big music scene, which is really nice. I study psychology and music at Cal Poly with a child development minor. I am one of the music directors of That's the Key, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming.
All right, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joshua Callado, but you can also call me Mr. Sunshine. I'm from Daly City, which is in the Bay Area. It's just right south of San Francisco. I'm a fourth-year environmental management and protection major with a minor in communication studies at Cal Poly, and I am this year's TTK's newest president.
All right, well, our first question for you guys is our first question for any group we have on this podcast, because it's just so different from person to person. How did you get into music and a cappella?
I think Kylie might have just been born a cappella.
I get that a lot. Everyone who hears my last name, they're like, "Are you a singer?" And they're like, "You're an acapella? That's amazing!"
Yeah, I guess it was kind of destiny for me to be in an a cappella group. I started getting into music when I was 9 years old. I asked for a guitar for my birthday, but I got a really huge acoustic guitar, and I was a very small 9-year-old. So I couldn't even reach all the way around the neck, and my fingers were bleeding after like 30 minutes of practicing, so did not go well with guitar at first, so I picked up piano, and then later I picked up guitar and singing in high school. So I've been playing piano since I was 9. That's a long time. Guitar and singing has been less than 10 years. And I'm a voice major at Cal Poly. So like with the music department, we get to choose our instruments. So I study voice, which is really fun. And music has just always been a really big part of my life.
That's so cool. Tony, she might be the first voice major we've had on the podcast.
I believe so. We've had people who I believe have had some musical background, or at least we've talked about in other groups where there have been like an opera major, but that's about as close as we've gotten to having somebody who studies the voice.
Yeah, we had EJ, but that's...
I technically do study opera. Like the music program at Cal Poly has a heavy classical, like it's basically a classical program. Some people do choose to do musical theater, but I'm singing in a lot of different languages, typical opera style, and very different than what I grew up doing, but it's so fun, and it just feels so free of the voice. It's really, really fun.
That's awesome. Opera is so difficult, but like when you can do it, it feels so amazing because it's like the most relaxed your voice can be, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
It started at the day of my birth. But in all seriousness, my family actually does follow the Filipino stereotype, as in everyone loves karaoke. So yeah, like throughout my childhood, every family party I would go to, of course, there would be a karaoke machine, and my cousins and I would always go sing with it. I actually first started doing choir my kindergarten year, and I've been doing choir ever since. I did it through elementary school, middle school, high school, and then when I came to Cal Poly, I joined that choir group. Actually, funny story going back to my high school was I was part of one of the advanced choirs, and my best friend Chris was the president of that the acapella group there, and we were called the Testostertones.
Yes, we love acapella names.
So that was my very that was my very first experience with acapella, and when I came to Cal Poly, I actually wasn't that interested until about half of TTK kept encouraging me to audition, and by my third year, I was like, try something new. Why haven't I done this before? And so, yeah, that's kind of how I got into music and acapella.
Well, there you go. So you joined in your third year, is that?
Yeah, so I joined last year.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Our next question, we want you guys to touch on a little bit of what the acapella scene is like at Cal Poly. We notice with the different groups that there is certain like traditions and stuff that kind of like go on in general. So if you guys could touch on a little bit of what is it like at Cal Poly, like how many groups, co-ed, competitive, etc. Just give us a little bit of insight.
All right, I can touch on that first. We are one of two main a cappella groups on campus. The other one is Take It Slow, a play on San Luis Obispo. And they have been around longer than us. And we were actually started from a member of Take It Slow who left and wanted to start their own a cappella group because, I mean, there needs to be more than one a cappella group on a 20,000 person campus. So we're the two main groups, but there are some other smaller cultural a cappella groups, and I personally don't know too much about them. And there is another a cappella group in the process. I think they're still recruiting some members. But in terms of traditions, TTK has gone through a lot of changes. The group that was established like 10 years ago is not the same group that we have now. It's vastly different. I actually joined TTK my freshman year. I'm a fourth year along with Josh. And even back then, the group that we had is completely different than what we have now. And it was a very big transition from my freshman year to my sophomore year because we lost 10 people in our group.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a big transition. We had 20 people, I think 20 or 21 people at the beginning of fall quarter my freshman year, and then by spring quarter 10 people dropped, and we had 10 people in our spring concert. And just people were dropping because of other commitments and some tensions in the group. And pretty much all of them, we only had one member that was not new that year. So like everyone who survived the group falling out was brand new. They were all noobs that year. So we were basically rebuilding the group. So that was 2018 and 2019. And so that was kind of the first year of TTK as we know it right now. And then the year that Josh came in, 2019 to 2020, like things just kept going, and we're still working on like trying to figure out traditions and things that we can do together as a group. But something that we have kind of like brought up again was majors and minors, which is, sorry, I'm going like totally off topic of the question.
No, this is great.
But so
we kind of left it broad.
Okay, awesome.
Just go wherever your heart feels.
Thank
wherever
you.
it takes you.
Thank you. So last year we had majors and minors. So the returning members of the group would be majors and the new members would be minors. Kind of like how sororities and fraternities do bigs and littles. And
But key themed.
yeah.
That's the key.
Exactly. And so it was kind of like up to each major what they wanted to do. And I had two minors, and so I like kind of did the whole like surprise reveal type thing, and we had a big reveal during our fall concert. On the stage we like opened the curtains, and then there was your major, and then yeah, it was really cute. And then this year, we kind of meshed that into families. So we have 3 main families in TTK, and Josh and I are actually part of different families, but we're not going to talk about that. There's no rivalries or anything. It's just like convenience, I guess. So
I'm actually in the process of trying to get them called chords instead of families.
Ooh.
Love it.
It'll catch on eventually.
Yeah.
All live together in harmony.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
exactly. I love it.
Love it.
I love all this lore based on your guys' name. It's wonderful.
There's so much we can do with our name.
So I know it seems like the acapella community over there is like it exists, but it's just starting now to like become like more diverse within the different groups. Are there any like acapella events that you guys hold or the other group holds, or maybe you guys work in collaboration with on the Cal Poly campus?
So far, we each group has hosted like their own concerts, but we haven't really done like a full-on collaboration between groups. I was thinking maybe this upcoming year, if times change and things improve, maybe we can get something like that started.
Yeah, when Miss Rona moves out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have a piggyback off of that. When TTK, my freshman year, when 10 people left TTK, we actually reached out to Take It Slow, the other a cappella group, for help because we were so desperate of like we couldn't have a concert with just 10 people. So they actually like showed up at our concert and sang at our intermission, which was really nice, and we did the same for them because our concerts were on the same weekend. So we showed up to their concert, sang at their intermission, and then at both concerts we sang a song together. We sang This Is Me from The Greatest Showman, and that was kind of that was TTK's song, because that was like the song that kind of pulled us out of this rut that we were in. And so that was a really special moment. But since then, we haven't done any collaboration with other a cappella groups, and that's something that we're hoping to do more of.
That's awesome. Yeah, UCLA has a huge amount of a cappella groups, so because they're like limited performance spaces, we kind of have to perform with each other, and we enjoy it, but like it's also a necessity. But yeah, I mean, it's always fun performing with other a cappella groups. It's cool that you guys kind of have that relationship with them when you were starting back up from when you lost those people, and then got hope again from The Greatest Showman. I love that song. It's so positive.
I do too.
In the same vein of a cappella events, what does a typical quarter like for your group? Like, what do you guys do? What's your schedule like? What is your general vibe, I guess, in the sense of how you rehearse?
Yeah, so, prior to the pandemic, for our normal quarter, we usually met up twice a week, once on Sunday and another time on Wednesday. We met for about 4 hours a week. Usually what we would do is that we would introduce ourselves to like a new piece of music that we've done, that someone has arranged. And we would spend about, I'd say, 2.5 weeks on it until we got it down. And then we would just move on to the next one. This past year, we spent the first 2 quarters practicing, and then we had our first concert last year during winter quarter, which was back January, I believe. Yeah. I believe it was the week right before the ICCA competition.
Yeah, it was kind of like a practice round.
Yeah.
So when you guys have a normal quarter, I guess pre-ICCAs or like whatever you were planning for spring, would you usually have like an end of quarter performance or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was tough this year because of the way that Thanksgiving break fell and winter break fell. There's only like 2 weeks in between, and half of TTK is also in choir. So the choir concert just happened to be on the weekend that we were planning on doing our TTK concert, and we don't want to die. So, because I think some of us have actually sang in a choir concert and a TTK concert that same on the same weekend, and it was not good.
Wild.
Yeah, it definitely hurt my voice a lot. So we're trying to be careful with that. So that's why we pushed it to January this quarter. But we normally try to have it at the end of every quarter. We don't usually do it in winter. So fall and spring.
Yeah, I feel like the end of fall quarter is just so hectic because you have that week off for Thanksgiving and you come back and then you have like 1 or 2 weeks to get everything you want done, and then finals happen. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I think for us too, it's like, I think it's our shortest quarter out of the 3 quarters that we're throughout the year. I think our fall quarter is the shortest, so like we have the least amount of time to like prepare and get ready.
I think our fall might be the longest, but it doesn't like help because you still have to audition people. The quarter could be slightly longer, but it's still going to be the shortest acapella wise.
I mean, in my short experience on the UCLA campus, hi, I'm a second year. But in my experience, I feel like the fall always feels a little bit longer because like you're jumping back into like the grind, and then for me, like winter and spring, just like it flew so quick. But also like with fall, it's good to have that space because there's the auditioning process, and there's like coming to terms with group dynamics and understanding where everybody is. And then the ICCAs.
I guess my last question for you with regard to like what a typical quarter looks like is, does your group hang out like a certain number of times per quarter, or is it more loose? Do you like schedule socials, or?
We've definitely been trying to do more of that. During the fall, we typically do some kind of like small retreat type thing. 2 years ago, we went to this state park near us called Montaña de Oro, and we all just kind of like laid out towels on the beach and just explored and walked around. And then after, we went back to one of our members' houses and just like listened to music and played games and that kind of stuff, and that was really fun. And then this past year we went roller skating. Did we go to someone else's place after? Oh, I think we went to Doug's or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, we went to Doug's.
Yeah, and then we try to do like some kind of small activities like group bonding and like just building group morale, but we didn't really have time to do that too much last quarter, or like the last quarter that we were together during winter, because so much of winter was prepping for the ICCAs, and we definitely procrastinated a little bit too long.
We did too.
You know, I feel like that's typical.
Yeah. Honestly, it was actually in regards to that, I found it pretty funny, and like slightly hectic since at the time I was still new, so I was like, rushing for everything. This is normal.
But also, you had a hurt knee.
Oh yeah, that.
We'll get into that.
We're gonna get into that in a little bit. It's pretty great.
Yes, I'm very excited for that.
Okay, but before we get into that, I'd like to talk a little bit about your group dynamic and how you guys feel that maybe you guys gelling outside of like competition, and like how your guys' personalities come together in performance. So like if you can talk about like how the individual and group dynamics come together to contribute in either a performative or musical like connectivity. If you could talk a little bit about how that comes into play in performance.
Of course. Yeah, so I'd say every member of TTK has like their own individual like special unique quality, which I feel is pretty standard for most acapella groups. And I would say like most other acapella groups, like I feel like it's more of a family than just a club that we're all part of. And like especially since me and my roommate joined. So my roommate and I both joined this group at the same time. And yeah, so like when we had first joined, like we integrated really well within like a week. And like bonding with everyone was so easy. And Kylie can attest to this. Our last concert, and a lot of the members say this too, like was one of the best that this group has done, because there was so much heart in it, because we had spent so much time together working on it. And like each of us working on like the specific little things that we do. And admittedly, like throughout the concert, some of us kind of just ad-lib stuff in the middle of the concert. Me. And which kind of just adds like a little more of like uniqueness to the fun of it, it's just so grand. I love it.
I think that's so good that you guys look for like the individual talents that each like the different members and what they bring to the table, and then really allowing those things to shine out even in like your group performance. That's a really phenomenal thing, and I'm glad that you guys take that time in order to really show each person's unique like skill or talent, or what they're good, like what they're best at, and like using that as like the basis of what you guys work on.
Yeah, I for one can honestly like thank Kylie and our other co-director, because they put in the work to like kind of like workshop each of us individually, just so we can like actually really capitalize on like what we're really good at. And so that I have to thank them for. So thank you, Kylie.
Yeah.
Snaps for music directors.
Oh, thank you. You guys do the snaps too?
Yup.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was just a Cal Poly thing. That makes me happy.
I feel like it's just like college kids being all slam poetry like.
Yeah. Break out the bongos, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Touching on what Josh said, our audition process is, like, I guess it's not the most extensive in like the realm of a cappella auditions, but we do have an interview process, and
Oh, that was the fun part.
it's really fun. Like I
God.
feel like everyone who's interviewing is really nervous, but we're just like, it's them and then the rest of the group surrounding them, just like sitting down like in a circle, and we just genuinely want to know what they're like and just like have them talk to us for 15 minutes and just have a chance for them to ask us questions and us ask them questions. And I think that really helps us figure out like who is going to, like, voices aside, like whose personality is going to work with us the best, because we don't want someone to feel uncomfortable, and we also like want to make sure that the group dynamic is going to either positively change or like stay similarly to how it has been in the past. So I think that's a really important part of what we do, and it helps us figure out who's going to work best.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Actually, to build off of that, I thought I'd maybe share a little of my audition process.
100%.
So when I first auditioned, I walked in. Actually, this is the second time I auditioned for TTK. I had completely forgot that I auditioned for TTK my freshman year of college.
I didn't know that.
I forgot about it.
But yeah, so long story short, yeah, second audition for TTK. I walk into the room, see half of the people who I had already known from choir, so that made things very easy. And I start greeting myself to them in Spanish. The funny part is I don't speak Spanish. And one of them was like, all right, so what do you be singing today? And after I had, greeted myself in Spanish, I said, so I'm going to be performing Despacito.
And it was so good. Everyone was like, what?
Yeah, I did the guitar riff at the very beginning. It was like, maybe that'll show off a little bit.
Love it.
And then in regards to the interviewing process, yeah, it was very chill, very low key. It was literally just like, hey, what's your name? What do you like? And then my current major, during the interview, just asked me random questions that had nothing to do with the interview. Like, who would you rather protect yourself, Chuck Norris or Keanu Reeves? And I was like, these are the real questions we got to be asking here.
Just digging real deep.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's my spiel on it.
I don't remember if this was part of the audition process or if this was part of like the like getting to know everybody. But I absolutely remember Pitch Please having a conversation about pineapple on pizza.
Okay, that was at callbacks, and that was, yep, I might have brought that up.
I personally am not against pineapple on pizza, but I wouldn't usually get pineapple on pizza.
I actually really like it. It's like salty and sweet. I know that
I see the appeal. I definitely see the appeal.
we're gonna lose some listeners now that they know that I'm on the side of pineapple on pizza.
I just outed myself. Half of my friends think I hate pineapple on pizza.
Oh no! See, like, I don't hate it, and I actually do really like it. Like, I'm gonna just come out here and say it. Like, it's not even tolerable. I like actually would choose it over other things.
Tiger on the Block is canceled for being pro pineapple. R.I.P. This is the last episode.
I'm not going to be able to get a job in the future because
we're not going to be able to get a job in the future. They're going to be like, oh, so I heard you were in ties with that pro pineapple podcast. I'll be, oh, God.
I don't want to be associated with this.
Tony, I'm going to have to put you as a reference so they can call you, and you'll have to convince them that I was joking.
Yeah. It was an ironic love for pineapple pizza.
I'd just be on the phone. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know a Jessica Cinderblock.
We love a callback.
Well, you guys have talked a little bit about the things your group does in the normal times, and I know this is not a normal time. So how has your group adapted to quarantine socially and musically? Because I know that those are two very different things when it comes to remote stuff, right? You can't just have a Zoom a cappella rehearsal. So what have you guys been doing to stay in touch and to stay musical and to stay on top of your a cappella stuff?
So I kind of, like, we discussed as a group what we would want to realistically get out of last quarter, spring quarter. And we kind of took it from our choir director. He decided to be putting on like a virtual choir concert. So we had 2 graduating seniors who graduated in the spring, and both of them sang solos at the ICCA. And we decided to have everyone send in videos of them singing those 2 songs, like their parts. And then me and the other music director, we're both music majors, actually. So we had everyone send in rough drafts and a final draft. So after the first draft, the rough draft, my co's name is Chris. Me and Chris looked over everyone's video, and we wrote extensive comments about everyone, like positive and negative, not negative, but like constructive, and how they could improve. And that was actually a really great experience for me, both as a music director and as a music major, like, because I am interested in going into teaching and music education. So that was actually really helpful for me, of like using my skills that I've learned as like taking singing lessons and as like a music director, being able to like use my ear to pick up those things. So like one of our members, just as an example, he has trouble like lifting his soft palate, and so I gave him some technical ways that could help with that, such as like pinching your nose and to check for nasalized vowels. And that was something that actually helped me in return, and seeing him improve and like him learning from that was just a really positive experience for me. And I hope Josh received feedback too. I hope that was helpful. Yeah. And then the final drafts were way better because people were taking into those comments into account. And so with those final drafts, Chris and I are going to strip the audio from the video and then compile those in GarageBand. That's the extent of my programs that I have. I don't have any fancy DAWs, unfortunately.
It works, you know?
You know, it works for me. I don't need to pay.
Y'all will do.
We're not sponsored by Apple, but there is like a free 100-day Logic trial that I think that's still up there, and I've been using it, and it has been lovely. So
I do like Logic. Logic is very nice. So yeah, I'm like Chris and I are going to try to compile them, do what we can. It's gonna be a lot of editing, but it's only 18 voices, so it shouldn't be as hard as what my choir director had to do with like 70 voices.
Oh,
So-
more like 100 something, because he directs 3 different choirs.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's still in the process, but it's our 2 graduating seniors' songs. They arranged their senior songs, and so hopefully the virtual choir will be done by the end of summer, and they would have something that they can be like, this is me, like singing on this.
Look out, 'cause here I come. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that we did last quarter, but that wasn't super involved. Like, it's more involved right now trying to put it together, but we didn't really have the chance to do too much musically because, I mean, I'm sure you all are struggling with this too. Like, how do you do virtual a cappella? So, I don't know. We tried to have meetings every 2 weeks because some of us took an extra class because of everything was online, including me. I had a heavy load and I didn't know how I was going to be able to still meet for 4 to 5 hours a week and not really be singing with everyone. So we reduced our number of meeting times and our number of hours to just like an hour or two every 2 weeks. So that was nice just to catch up with everyone and just cry if we needed to. Yeah. So, yeah. Josh, do you have anything to say about the like social or musical aspect?
Yeah, actually, jumping off of that, so as I said before, the directors put in the work. But so in terms of the social aspect, like Kylie said, yeah, we tried to like get our like Zoom calls together. For this upcoming quarter, we're actually trying to see if we can be a little bit more active through Zoom. So some of us like own Kahoot. So I'm trying. Oh no, not Kahoot. Sorry, Jackbox games. Oh my gosh, that's great. And I personally have been trying to find a bunch of different online games that we can all play that I've been playing with my high school friends this past summer. So I'll be introducing those soon. We found like it's like this online version of Monopoly Deal.
Is it like the COVIDopoly thing, or is it something?
That's it. It's COVIDopoly. It's so much fun.
I saw that on Zoom memes for self-quarantines.
Oh, it's good. Yes, I love it. And
I do know that a lot of our members are still going to be in the San Luis Obispo area this upcoming quarter. And fortunately, San Luis Obispo has a lot of like open parks. So I was thinking like we could be doing like socially distanced picnics, stuff like that. But yeah. Adding more to the music stuff. It's for this upcoming quarter, since we can't really sing together, we were actually thinking of trying to like self-improve ourselves, like try to like widen our vocal skills, vocal technique. I myself have been trying to teach myself to beatbox and sing as a bass. I'm actually a tenor in the group, or tenor 2, but yeah, I've been trying to teach myself some like new techniques so I can like add a little bit more to the group.
Josh has got like the biggest range ever, so he can sing any part.
Yeah, my goal for the end of this summer is to cover anyone's part in the group. My highest note as of currently is a G5, and my lowest note is an E1.
E1?
Woo! That's insane.
Subharmonics. To any basses who are listening to this podcast, learn subharmonics. It's easy. It's just vocal fry with just adding a little tone through it. It's easy, simple, and you add a new octave to your range.
Just drink chamomile tea with honey after you do it.
Yep.
Our bass always loves to sing first thing in the morning without warming up because his voice has like so many more low notes. And he always auditions too for like every soprano solo because he thinks it's funny.
Ours does that too.
Yeah, so I did that. I did that for a couple hours long. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. So we're going to call back to when we were talking about your ICCA 2020 experience. We touched on it a little earlier that it was your first ICCA performance. Just get us going in that direction.
It's a real journey.
It all started during the summer. So like about a year ago, we have a position called lead arranger, and he arranged all of our ICCA set with the exception of our senior songs, which he actually did help on. So the original plan was for like all of it to be arranged by the beginning of fall so that we could have fall to learn it and then also try to learn some choreo by that time. And this is not our lead arranger's fault. It's like, it was a collaborative effort to forget to do it. It was not done until January. And so with the music not being done, we couldn't really choreograph to it either. So the music ended up being done. I think we did actually learn one piece for the ICCA during fall.
Yeah, I think it was, do you want to do something? I think that was the first one.
Maybe it was Weight. It was Weight of the World.
It was Weight of the World.
And that was our shortest one. So we were like, we have 10 minutes of music to learn in a month, and we have to choreograph to it. So everyone busted our butts during winter break. We had 3 weeks for winter break, and I was on our Slack, like, messaging everyone, like, you better be learning this, please. We can't come back for winter quarter and not know our music. And luckily a good majority of our group actually did learn the music before coming back for winter quarter. but we still had to learn choreography for all of that. So our only new freshman that we got this year, she volunteered to be the choreographer for everything.
Such a sweetheart.
She,
oh my God.
like, yeah, she was on a dance team at Cal Poly too. So at the same time, so she's amazing. Love her. She choreographed everything, and we had extra, like, 2 to 4 hour rehearsals, like, every week, probably, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
up
all in
until the
the long
ICCA.
haul.
Yeah, we were in it, and it was a lot, and we made that expectation very clear that it would go from, like, 4 to 5 hours a week to, like, 10 hours a week, 9 hours a week of rehearsing. And a lot of us aren't even dancers. So a lot of us have never danced before, let alone singing and dancing together, which is so much harder than everyone thinks it is.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, stage presence, too. And actually singing on key while you're moving around. So that was a lot, and it was definitely a brand new experience for everyone. And because only one of our members has been to the ICCA, and I think that was when he was in high school, so not even the, like, real ICCA. So we did it, and we were all so proud of ourselves. After we got off stage, I think we literally just, like, ran up to our dressing room and screamed for, like...
Oh, yeah, no, we exploded in our dressing room. Like, thank God our doors were closed.
Yeah.
The feeling though, like, oh, it's a good one.
It was a good feeling. We were so ready before, and then after, we were just screaming for like 5 minutes. We didn't even hear the group after us. I felt kind of bad about that, but we were just so relieved. Like, everyone got sick after because we were all so tired.
That's
a given.
Yeah.
That's how it be sometimes. That's really how it be.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. Performance art and crunch time. A match made in hell, a match made in heaven.
It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, I was most impressed by the fact that we caught up with all of that music ahead of time. Because we had to get that stuff ready before our first concert, which was the week before ICCA's. So we had all of that down right before then. I was like,
yo.
Not the choreography, though. We were crunching.
No.
It was crunch time for the choreo.
Yeah. I think Jess can attest to being part of Pitch Please's first ICCA experience, is that setting that goal and then seeing where that takes you after. It just really it lends itself to just vast amounts of improvement within the group, and it brings everybody closer together, and to shoot for those kinds of goals. It does wonders for a cappella groups.
There is no better way to light a fire under your group's butt than to do ICCAs.
Facts. So true.
I agree 100%.
All right, well, speaking of the ICCAs, I say we move on to our next segment. Everyone, welcome to Music Notes. This is the part of our show where we take a look back at a past performance of the group and talk a little bit about the preparation that went into it, how it felt to perform live, and what it feels like to look back at it now. In this episode, we're going to take a look at That's the Keys cover of Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa at the 2020 ICCA West quarterfinal, featuring soloist Nadine Kewen. Let's check it out. Well,
Oh, nostalgia.
the nostalgia, it do be hitting though. So why don't you guys just start us off giving us your visceral first reactions? Getting to look back on that video, how do you feel?
Accomplished. Oh, it was so good to see, like, so we have more of that, of our entire performance, and it was just so nice to actually watch it, like, doing it on stage live. It was, oh, man. Especially first time for the group, too. It was nice.
Oh, it's it's powerful, yeah.
Kylie, your thoughts?
Yeah, I miss it. I miss being able to sing with everyone. And it's like, even if we weren't in a global pandemic, like, if we were still able to sing with everyone as normal, like, I would still miss the ICCA so much. Like, it was just such a great bonding experience for everyone. Not everyone in the group decided to do the ICCA because of all of those extra rehearsal hours. So I think 3 members decided not to, which was sad because we didn't get to bond with those members, but it was still really, really great and so rewarding to, like, even, like, the non-musical aspect of it. But watching that again just makes me feel so good. And, like, we did that in such a short amount of time.
Right. It was good. I remember watching you guys and thinking, like, damn, like, just watching everyone. I feel like watching the ICCAs, like, as an audience member, like, because we were in the second half and you guys, I think, were in the first half. So we got to watch the entire first half and we saw you guys among everyone. And it was just, it's so mind-blowing. I love that competition. It's just, like, the vibes are just wonderful because everyone's so supportive. Like, we're competing, but, like, it's a sharing thing, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it doesn't even feel like a competition. It was more of like, this is like here's the best of the West Coast acapella.
It felt really good to get accepted to, like, go to the quarterfinals. Like, I remember sending in a video, like, to, like, the application, I guess, and I was like, it's okay, like, just kind of preparing for, like, rejection, I guess. I was like, it's okay, like, we have a lot going on, but once I found out that we got accepted, like, that just felt really good. I also, like, oh shoot, like, we have to, like, there's a fire under our asses, but yeah.
I'll never forget, like, feeling, like, slightly anxious because, like, we, like, the day that the acceptances were supposed to go out, like, we didn't hear anything. I was like, wait, are we in or are we not in? Like, no one had posted anything. And I think they posted, like, what, a day or two late? And that's how we found out. I was like, oh, we're in!
Yeah, I'd like to talk about my personal viewing, because your guys' group stood out to me for a number of reasons, but absolutely grabbed me. The announcer guy waves off the stage, and then all I see is this chair come out, and a singular man comes out with crutches, sits down at the chair, slowly brings up the microphone, turns wistfully to the audience and says, "You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Well,
I can't believe you remember what I said."
Tony and I were sitting next to each other, and when you said that, he turned to me and he was like,
It was so good. Just pantomimed my reaction, which makes for great radio.
yeah, for those of you who have no idea what I just did, you'll have to meet me someday. Sorry.
If you see Jessica Block on the block, just ask her, hey, do that thing from that episode, you know, the one.
And I'll do it.
She'll know the one.
Oh, well, all right. I'll go.
Yeah. So can we touch a bit on that and how that became part of your set? Because
the whole story, Josh.
Oh no, here I got you. You're gonna hear the full exclusive story of Mr. Sunshine and the ACL tear.
Oh.
Taking it back all the way, January 4th of 2020. I had winter quarter. I had just joined Cal Poly's polyphonics. It's one of the 3 choirs that our director directs, and so I had just joined, very hesitantly because I wasn't sure how scheduling was gonna work. And when I had just joined, the director was like, "Oh yes, but please keep this specific date open because we do a retreat for winter quarter every year." And I'm like, "Awesome! This sounds like fun." So on this retreat, it was day 2. And I was told we were going to be doing Archery Tag, something I've been wanting to cross off my bucket list my entire life, or at least the day I found out it was a thing. So we're playing archery tag. I'm okay at it. Then we do this one special round where we're all trying to charge a shed. And I was like, hey, if we Area 51 charge this shed, they can't shoot all of us.
You know what? Naruto run at them. They can't hit you. You're too fast.
So so if anyone out there is familiar with the video game Assassin's Creed, I try to do this. I have my bow and arrow ready. They have foam marshmallows. If for those of you who are concerned that we're using actual arrows, we're not. So I'm like getting ready. I crouch. I'm like doing this whole tactical crouch thing with the bow. And for those who can't see, I'm like actually pretending to crouch back here. I shoot my arrow and I just bolt it diagonally towards the shed to see if I can like trick the enemy team to shooting at me. It worked. And I dodged a volley of arrows, to my surprise, Matrix style. But you're probably wondering, what caused the ACL tear? No, it wasn't the arrows. It was a gopher hole that I stepped in as I was running down a hill. Yes. So I took a step into the gopher hole, and so I feel this pop in my leg, and my thought process was, damn it, someone hit me with an arrow. So I didn't feel any pain. So I didn't think I was injured. I thought someone just had gotten me. And then I flop forward and fall to the ground. And I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to walk up and go back. I tried to take a step and, my right leg doesn't feel normal. Let's just say my leg bent in a way that it should not bend. And at that point, I was just like, yeah, no, I think I'm just going to stay here on the ground. In which Doug actually shot me with an arrow, not knowing I was injured. And I was like, this is
another
fair.
member of TTK who's in choir.
Yep.
Shot Josh. How rude.
Doug, if you're listening, how could you?
Oh, man.
Canceled. It's over.
I was more surprised that I didn't break the bow, because I was pretty sure I landed on it. But yeah, the bow survived.
The strangest injury story I've ever heard. Also, I've never heard of archery tag.
Yeah, so they give you bows and arrows with marshmallows on the end, and you kind of just shoot them at each other like paintball.
Still kind of
Awesome.
hurts, though, if you get hit.
So kind of like paintball.
Yeah!
Definitely doesn't hurt as bad as paintball, though, thank God.
Oh, yeah. But,
Yeah, so how did you guys end up taking that and given the challenge, especially of like choreography and going into that, how did you guys decide to approach your ICCA set with this this newfound piece?
So even funnier, after having checked with several physicians and friends, everyone had decided that it was not an ACL tear. Mind you, it was a complete ACL tear. And so everyone, after like hearing from different physicians, like, oh yeah, no, you should be good within a week. So I went back with the acapella group. It was like, yeah. So we just kind of treated it as if I was going to be dancing the ICCA still. And this was for about like 3 weeks. And so they had
The whole time that we were practicing choreo, we were like, we'll just fit you in here.
Yeah, like they left a spot open for me for when I got back. That never happened. It actually wasn't until after the ICCAs that I found out it was an ACL tear.
The chair idea was, like, I think literally the night before.
no, it was the night before.
We were like, hey, how about we do this? That works, right?
Yeah, no, so once I had told our choreographer that, like, hey, I can't dance, we tried to adapt it. And, like, we were trying to figure out different ways to incorporate me into the actual, like, performance. And it started off with like thinking it was like this is where we actually started like coming up with the story for our performance. And so we first thought of it as, hey, what if it's like a dream sequence? And the original idea was I would be lying down on the ground while singing, pretending to sleep.
That's so hard to do, though.
Oh, we somehow made it work. Like for about 2-3 different rehearsals, we made it work.
Love the breath control.
Yeah, and like Kylie said, it wasn't until the night before we got cleared to use a chair. So we changed up the idea where it was like, hey, what if we made this like I'm telling a story of how I'm just really, really bad at relationships.
Nadine,
Love it.
Nadine tore your ACL. That's actually what happened.
Yeah, no, that's so pretty much the story. Yeah, and so we kind of just disregard how I actually tore my ACL and worked into the story that it was all of my exes that, tore my ACL. So, like,
So good.
so, like,
That's the best narrative we've heard so far. Other people were like, yes, it's like about relationships and like life, and you guys are like, no, like my exes tore my ACL.
yeah, no, it's
Exes
even
tore my
funnier.
ACL. That's the key 2019.
See, it's even funnier because like so I personally started listening to each and every song and I was like, okay, how are we going to integrate this story? Since I can't dance to any of this, I was like, what if I just emote the emotion of each song in a way that it was going to, go? So the very first song, it's supposed to be happy, lovely, and like, oh yeah, I just met someone. And, so each soloist for our performance was supposed to be one of my exes. And so during that first song, I started eyeing the first soloist, then I eyed the second soloist, and then like I'm starting to check out the third soloist, and it's just moving on and on. And then like the second one, it's like it's supposed to like represent like we're going through a rough patch, and like, oh, it's so sad. It's like, okay, maybe we could keep trying, and like you can see me in the chair, like trying to reach out to you. It's like, come on, no, come, we can try, we can keep going. And the third one, it's the third song in the performance. It's more of a, it's not working. Like I'm trying to grasp at something that's just not going to work anymore. And so that's where you really see me. Like I look like I'm going to bawl in that chair as I'm like reaching out to the soloist who can't hear me or see me, which, ooh, I love.
And plus it was Rosa, and she just emotes so much when she sings.
No, for the last song, the one that you just see in the video, I was on the fence on like how I was supposed, like what I should do. Either I try to act like, oh, I'm scared, or let me fight back. So it wasn't until the night of the performance I decided I'm gonna fight back. Yeah, so every single rehearsal we've had, like you see me as like, oh no, like I'm in a scruffle, like it's too late for me. In the actual performance, you see me, oh, I can take all of you on. Let's do this. And and the best part of that performance was the very end. You see me jump out of my chair, completely improvised. Like that, like no one knew I was gonna do that. Not even Nadine. The look that she gave me when I jumped out of the chair was like, wait, what are you doing? I was like, no, this works. Then she pushes me back down onto the chair. It's like, no, you're not winning this fight. And I'm like, this worked way so much better than I hoped it would.
I thought that was all planned. Honestly, watching your guys' performance, like the narrative seemed pretty clear, and it was really, I don't know, it was one of the clearest narratives I think of any of the groups that are at our quarterfinal, and I thought that was really cool to watch.
Yeah, actually, everything I did in the chair like was all improvised. Like I did everything you saw on that chair. I just came up with that night.
That is
it's all part of the emotion.
There's some sick prov there. There's some
sick
good,
prov, bro.
Sick prov.
Thanks.
Sick prov.
Honored.
I learned that from my improv comedy friends. I don't think they use it unironically, but I use it unironically, so it's okay.
Love it.
But so that's the story of how we used my ACL for the performance.
That is by far one of the most exciting stories that has ever been told on this podcast.
Yep. About a month later, found out it was an ACL tear. And about a month ago from today, I just got the surgery done. So I have an ACL again.
Woo!
Yay!
But yeah, thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
All right, well, after that wonderful TED Talk, we have a game for you all to play. But before we can get into that, we would like to thank our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by Kitchen Sinks. People seem to be selling everything else.
And by Kendall's Kites. Buy yours today, no strings attached.
Now, the game that we have for you all to play is a game that we've done before, but we've made it make a little bit more sense than it has in the past. This game, previously known as Pick a Song, Any Song, but if you pick our song, you have to sing it, is now called That's the Three.
I do love the first name, but I think that the name for today just resonates so much more with our contestants.
Absolutely. So let me give you a bit of a rundown about how it's going to go. So each round, players will be presented with 3 songs, one of which me and Jessica have chosen before the podcast started. Your goal is to not pick the song that we chose, or else you might have to sing a few bars, and your opponent will get a point. Each of you will take turns choosing one of the three, and once you've locked in your answer, we'll reveal the song that we chose. The loser of that round may be down a point, but they'll get to be the first person to pick in the following round. Are you guys ready to play?
I'm expecting a Rick roll at some point.
We've got a couple songs that might be on the same level.
Yes.
All right. Whichever one of you wants to be the person who goes first or second for the first round, we can decide this a number of ways. Traditionally, it has been rock, paper, scissors, which once again is great for radio.
Or the Jessica closes her eyes and points. At the camera. I think
Josh,
we go with.
We would like to just like race to see who picks a song first. Like if we hear one that we want, just go claim it.
All right, first round is a anything goes, and we'll do this round as a practice round. Okay, so we're gonna start with some more well-known songs. We're sticking in the nursery rhymes for the beginning, and we'll move into weirder places later. But so for the practice round, the songs that you have are option 1, If You're Happy and You Know It. Option 2, Happy Birthday. And third, Skip to My Lou.
If You're Happy and You Know It.
Darn it. I was like, wait, when do we start? No!
All right, Josh, what song will you pick? You have choice between Happy Birthday and Skip to My Lou.
Oh, Happy Birthday. Come on, let's go.
Jessica, what song did we pick?
We picked Happy Birthday.
Yeah. This is a shout out to all of my birthday people out there. Whoever's birthday is August 1st. Happy birthday.
Hey, Jess, you want to break it to him?
Oh,
So the point is you're trying not to choose the one that we chose.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, you're just happy because you know that because you're saying happy birthday to people?
Yes.
That's so nice.
To the boys?
I
That's
don't
good.
think
That's
Josh
wholesome.
has ever been negative in his life.
He is Mr. Sunshine, so there you go.
He is.
To those of you who knew me sophomore year of high school, we don't speak of that year. That year doesn't exist.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. We don't.
All right. Well, Josh, you didn't do so well in the practice round, so you'll have first pick then when we begin the game.
All right. For our first round.
You would have had to sing.
Oh, yeah, and you would have had to sing Happy Birthday. You could still sing Happy Birthday if you want.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear people, on August 1st. Happy birthday to you.
Going out to all the heartbreakers born on August 1st. Happy birthday. All right, let's get into the game. Jess, would you like to introduce the first round?
Sure. So this is the first round where the points actually count. And the 3 song options are... Oh, and Josh, you get to pick first. The 3 song options are Twinkle Twinkle, The ABCs, and Baba Black Sheep.
In fact, they're all the same song.
That's part of the joke.
I would like to choose Twinkle Twinkle.
That leaves your options as ABCs or Baba Black Sheep.
Oh, I haven't sung Baba Black Sheep in a while, so just in case I have to do that one, it'll refresh my memory. So I'll choose that one.
All right, Tony, do you want to say which one was the one we chose?
Absolutely. The song that we chose was the ABCs. Both of you get a point.
Currently tied, and since Josh went first the last time, Kylie, you get to go first this time since no one won their last round. Tony, would you like to say the options for round 2?
Absolutely. Now, here in round 2, we have a wonderful array of different songs that you could sing. We have, starting at the top, Photograph by Ed Sheeran. We have Photograph by Nickelback. And we have Video Killed the Radio Star.
I gotta go Nickelback.
All right, Josh, you got Ed Sheeran or Video Killed the Radio Star?
I'll do Ed Sheeran's Photograph.
All right, Jess, what answer did we write down?
Any song called Photograph.
So the points are still tied, but we might need a couple bars out of both of y'all.
How's the song
Look
going?
at this graph. Oh god, that's like all I remember of that song. I
That's
actually
good enough
really
for
used to
us.
listen to that.
That's all we ask for.
Awesome.
How's the song go again? It's like,
I don't know the Ed Sheeran one off the top of my
loving
head.
can hurt. It's loving can hurt sometimes. That's not how it goes.
That's perfect. I don't even.
It sounded like Ed Sheeran to me, honestly.
You know, the essence of the song was there, you know, and that's really, that's all that matters. All right, well, looks like the points are still tied. So we'll once again switch who's going first, just to keep things spicy. Jessica, would you like to introduce the next 3 songs?
I would love to. Emphasis on love. Because the next 3 songs are Love Yourself by my boy JB, LOVE, the jazz standard, and Love on Top by the Queen Beyonce.
Ooh. Nope. I think I'm gonna have to go with "Love Yourself" by JD.
God, I don't know the other ones.
I was because that's the only one I know the melody of.
I don't know it, but I'll go for the jazz standard because I like jazz.
We like jazz in this
You like
house.
jazz?
I like jazz.
Well, you have made the right decision because the song that we have chosen in the past is Love on Top. So both of you, once again, get the point.
We're so good at this
We are
game,
good.
Kylie.
Look at us, Josh. We're so good.
In that case, that brings us to our next round. This one's a little spicy. The song options that you have are Baby from the boy JB, Baby Shark, and Baby You Can Drive My Car.
Beep beep and beep beep.
Oh my god.
I gotta go for the Beatles. Am I choosing first?
Yes. All right. You got Baby by Justin Bieber or Baby Shark?
No, shout out to all of my middle school friends. Baby by Justin Bieber.
Jessica, what song did we choose?
We chose Baby by Justin Bieber.
Hey! That means Kylie's got the point. Josh, take us away.
Oh, 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 oh. You know you love me. I know you care. Just shout whenever, and I'll be there. You are my love. You are my heart. And we will never ever be apart. And I was like, baby, 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 oh, like, baby, 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 no, like, baby, 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 oh, thought you'd always be mine, mine.
That was
you.
fantastic.
Woo!
Ooh. Middle school me would be disappointed. I promise never to sing that song.
All right,
All
we
right.
have one last round.
What's the score?
The score is Kylie has 3 points and Josh has 2. Josh, you can tie it up with this round. Kylie, you can take it all. We'll see what happens. The 3 songs are Replay by Iaz,
Oh no! I love that
Replay.
song.
by Zendaya, Replay by Lady Gaga.
Oh man, honestly, nostalgia. I'm gonna have to go with Replay by Iaz.
Oh god, I don't know the other ones. I guess I'll go Gaga.
We kind of just wrote down the word replay as our answer that we've picked in the past. So I think that means both of you might have to sing a couple bars.
God, I don't know the Lady Gaga one.
You guys can just sing the Iaz one together.
Yeah, both of you can sing the IS song together.
Alright, you want to do like the first verse together? We got
Yeah, you might want to split it
I'll
up
do that,
because
that girl. That girl.
that girl. Na, 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 na. Wait, oh yeah, what part is that?
How does it start? Does it start right off with the
like a melody in my head that I can't keep
Body
out.
like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day.
It's like my iPod stuck on replay.
Body's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like
Kylie, take it.
na na every day.
Every day. It's like my iPod stuck on replay.
Replay, hey. Yeah, all right.
It's in my
Wonderful.
culture.
Well, because you both picked a song called Replay, because Tony and I did not pick a specific replay and just said any song starting with Replay, the score ends up still being Kylie 3 and Josh 2. So congrats, Kylie. Sorry,
Yay,
Josh.
someone won.
My dream come true. Thank you. Thank you all.
Great job, you guys.
Awesome.
Yes.
This is a great game.
And that's the 3 with That's the Key. Well, we're coming up to the end of the podcast, and so we're just going to give you a blank section for any shout-outs that you guys feel are deserved or undeserved. This is a spot for you to just tell the world about anything that your group might be up to, what anything your personal brand might be up to. It's just letting people know, hey, That's the Key, and these are some of the things that we have going on, and maybe here's where you can find us on social media. Without further ado, take this time to promote yourself.
Of course. Well, you can find us on Instagram at TTK Aca. That is TTKACA, all lowercase.
You can find us on Facebook at That's the Key. And our YouTube, I believe, is also just That's the Key. I don't think there's anything new on our YouTube, but we might be posting some videos. Keep an eye out for our virtual choirs that are going to be assembled. We will for sure be posting that, at least on our Instagram, hopefully on our YouTube as well. Yeah, keep an eye out for those virtual choirs.
Right, and I'll link all of your guys' pages and Facebook and Instagram and all of that below, so anyone listening can go ahead and click on those links.
Feel free to check out the Cal Poly Music Department if you want to know more about our very small but thriving music department.
Well, we just want to thank you both for joining us here on the podcast. It's been so great to reconnect with you guys after the ICCAs and just get to hear a little bit about a cappella culture down at Cal Poly SLO.
Well, if you guys are ever in SLO, or to anyone who's listening to this podcast, if you're ever in SLO and you come across me or Kylie, say hi. We love people. My full name is Joshua Joyner Lavatoria Callado. Whether that will help you or not, it probably won't.
Also, Josh and I are very friendly people, as he just said, so you can follow us on our individual Instagrams too if you want. Mine is Kylie Capella. My middle name is Morgan.
You can follow me at Mr_Sunshine_330.
Ooh.
I have recently started doing singing stuff, so if you want to hear more of my singing, I will be attempting to do that the rest of now. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we would also like to thank our stunt coordinator, Jun Jitsu, for teaching us all those wicked flips that we do at the intro of every episode.
Our hair and makeup specialist, Mira Ondawal, for making this entirely audio podcast visually the fairest of them all.
And of course, our listeners, thank you for tuning in.
Join us again in a couple weeks. We are taking a 1-week hiatus in order to regroup before the new year. But in a couple weeks, we will have another group here and ready to tell you all about their a cappella life.
This has been Tiger on the Block. Remember, to treat those vocal cords right.
Try out that riff you've always wanted to try.
And chug a ton of honey.